Hey, vinyl community and all my music loving friends, it's MGK Boston, Mike, back with another video. I know my last one I said I was going on vacation, which I did. Had a great cruise to Bermuda with my family. Got back from that last weekend, and now we're heading right into a long weekend here, both in Canada and the United States. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say a happy Canada Day today. That's Friday, July 1st, to friends and family all back in the Great White North, and Monday it'll be Independence Day here in the United States, so a happy day for that as well. Where I reside in the greater Boston area, looking forward to doing some celebrating. The weather forecast looks like it's going to cooperate, so that's good news. So today, just I was thinking on my ride home last night, and I was listening to some music last night, just some summer party tunes. Didn't put together any kind of real fancy video today. It's just kind of free form. And just thought I'd recommend some tunes for your cookout or whatever you're doing this weekend, ripping it up, getting into the pints, whatever floats your boat on a long weekend in the summertime. That certainly works for me. So anyway, I'm just going to recommend a dozen or so selections here. It's all over the map, but this is accessible to, you don't have to be a music snob or anything. You can get on board with any of this stuff. You probably know a lot of this stuff actually that I'm going to show. So again, nothing really collectible today by any stretch, just music recommendations for a good time. I'm just going to call this video Summer Party Recommendations, something like that. Anyway, I'll think of a title by the time I post the video on YouTube later. But anyway, we might as well kick things off with one of the greatest outlaws ever, music outlaws that is, the late great Waylon Jennings. This is just a collection. Again, in my videos, I don't usually show greatest hits, but again, the theme of this video is party music, and this certainly fits the bill. There he is right there on the back. There's not a bad track on this. Kicks it off with Honky Tonk Heroes, Lonesome Ornery and Mean, I've Always Been Crazy, Good Hearted Woman. I mean, you want to get your drink on, this is the stuff, like a dive bar, biker bar music. It's just terrific. There's no going wrong with this. I believe there's a dozen cuts on this, and this came out in '79, this collection. And again, it's greatest hits of Waylon Jennings. This is really his peak. All throughout the 70s, there's his logo there, the Waylon W. He used to always have that on stage behind the drummer. But yeah, lots of good stuff on YouTube if you want to look up some live tracks. Any of these are really good, translate live. He was a good live performer, good guitar player, great singer, and a great lyricist to boot. So again, drinking, what's the slogan for country music? Lying, loving, crying, dying, leaving, drinking. That's Waylon Jennings, greatest hits. Shifting genres, as I promised. I think I've shown this before. Maybe in my, I did a video, it was all great live albums, favorite live albums of mine, because I do love a great live album, and this is no exception. This came out in '78 on, of course, on Tough Gong Records, but was distributed by Island Records. You can see, where's the Island logo on here? I'll open this up. Let's just see here. No, there's no Island logo, but it is, I know it was distributed by Island. It's on Tough Gong. So yeah, this was just, I've got a ton of Bob Marley. You've heard me talk about him before if you've watched any of my videos. I mean, everything's here. Positive Vibration kicks it off the set. Punky Reggae Party, Exodus, Stirred Up, Rat Race, Concrete Jungle, Kinky Reggae, Lively Up Yourself. I mean, right on through. So yeah, if you dig the reggae, and this is real accessible reggae, nothing too wild here. No dub, it's just straight up reggae. It's Babylon by Bus, the late great Bob Marley, 1978, the release on that one. That's available both on record and compact disc. Here's one for my Canadian friends, speaking of Canada Day. It's Kim Mitchell. You can't really see this jewel box, but this CD has seen a lot of parties. And there's the back, a Kimbo logo. This was his debut solo release. Of course, Kim Mitchell was the leader of the band Max Webster all through the 70s from Ontario, Canada. Toronto and Sarnia, I think, were predominantly where he came from, Sarnia being in southwestern Ontario. And there he is on the front with the OPP. That's for my friends elsewhere in the world. That means Ontario Provincial Police. That's kind of the equivalent of a state trooper if you're in the United States. He wasn't a cop. I guess he was a friend of the cops. But for whatever reason, there he is lighting a smoke, or a dart, as my friends back in Canada would call it. So this is a great party album. Of course, kicks off Go for Soda. It's a song about don't drink and drive kind of thing. Diary for Rock and Roll Men. Lager and Ale's a classic cut on this. What's the ballad on here? Yeah, All We Are. That's the only slow one on this, but it's a nice one. Upbeat, not depressing by any stretch, but yeah, wicked party album. Akimbo logo, 1984, the release on Kim Mitchell, spit that out, his solo debut. And this came out a few years later. This was in 1990. And I did see him on the summer party circuit in Ontario. He plays all the county fairs, still at it these days. I know he's out there on the road this summer, in fact. And yeah, his longtime collaborator there is Pi Dubois, giving credit on the back there. But yeah, some of the songs I just mentioned from his debut are on here. Of course, Lager and Ale's right there. Great live version of that. So I Am a Wild Party. This is good. I think this is only available on compact disc and released in 1990. Great live album. Happy Canada Day again. All right. Another, like I said, I don't show a lot of compilations or greatest hits, but I'm making exceptions today. If you just want a really good playlist and you like the Stones, this is where you should start. This is from their beginning, 64 to 71, kind of the first era, as it's called by some critics. And there they are on the back. You know, the late, great Brian Jones on here hanging off the wall. Yeah, it's just really excellent. Brown Sugar, Wild Horses. Of course, they don't play Brown Sugar anymore. That got canceled out. Satisfaction, Paint It Black, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Play With Fire. I mean, I could go on. And this, of course, was all on the London label. You can see the London logo down there. And this, is, of course, is a double with the gatefold sleeve. Yeah, there's Sir Mick on my left there. And, of course, some of the shots of the band, you know. Yeah, so this is really good stuff. So, yeah, of course, I've listed a bunch of these tracks. And, of course, this is called Hot Rocks. And as I said, culling from the years 1964 to 71. Greatest hits so far, if you will, for the band at that point in their career. All right, keeping the party going. High Energy, the late, great Freddie Mercury. Here they are. This was arguably, well, not arguably, this was at their peak. This is 1979. I believe this was culled from a few live performances across a few different venues. Again, this is a double, called Live Killers. And yeah, on the inside, just a real great collage of shots here. There you can see all the band. Of course, there's Brian May right there. A friend of mine, Dave, back in Ontario, he has a friend that looks a lot like Brian May. Dave will get that joke. Anyway, my friend Dave up in Oshawa. Happy Canada Day, Dave. Hope you're having a couple of cold ones, because I'm about to do that myself here. All right, and of course this kicks off with We Will Rock You. You know all these Queen tunes, but live they're just way better than in the studio. We Will Rock You, Death on Two Legs, Killer Queen, Bicycle Race, I'm in Love with My Car. That was sung by the drummer. Brian Taylor is his name, I think. I may have that wrong, but it is sung by the drummer, which is an exception to Freddie usually on vocals. It was Roger Taylor, I think, on drums. Yeah, I don't know why I was saying Brian. Roger. Anyway, on the inside, again, you've seen the photos. There you are on this beautiful gatefold sleeve. And it's Queen, Live Killers. Keep the party moving. It's high energy. I'd put this on at any party and blast it. I did back in the day, in fact. That's what most of these are, just memories for me from when I might have first had these. And, you know, high school, university days in the 80s, letting her rip with friends on a long weekend. That's the theme of this video. And spoke about Bob Marley before. These guys from the UK, of course, you know, UB40, most famous for, you know, Red Red Wine and all that came after 1985. But this is a collection from 80 to 83, kind of another one of those best so far things. Yeah, recorded between the years. Okay. Yeah, just led by lead vocalist Ali Campbell. This is really good stuff. There is a bit of dub on this one. Yeah, dub mobile. If you're a reggae fan, you know what I'm talking about when I say dub. 1 in 10's an excellent track on this. Food for Thought. Present Arms is on this too. Yeah, it's track 3 on side 1. So again, reggae, it's not high energy, but at a party, you know, you're going to blaze one, whatever, you're just chilling. This is what you want. Early UB40, you cannot go wrong. And again, this is a nice collection, 80 to 83. I believe that, yeah, they're formed in the summer of 78, so the story goes, in Birmingham, England. So there they are. You'd be 40. Slows the party down a bit, but keeps it going, like I said. Just a different tempo, folks. Okay, you know what? Whether you love it or you hate it, you've heard it a million times, but sometimes it's just like that cup of coffee in the morning. You have it every day, and sometimes it's just really great. And that's what this album's like for me. I bought this when it came out. This is an original pressing from 1980. This is the it was the first appearance, rather, of Brian Johnson. So yeah, after the late great Bon Scott, who had passed a year or two prior, Brian Johnson came in on lead vocals. It's AC/DC, but it's a different sound. As you're aware, the two singers, it's a tale of two bands, and that's what this is. But it's produced by Mutt Lange, who later married Shania Twain, discovered Shania Twain, produced her stuff, and of course they married. And Mutt Lange produced a lot of bands, and this was probably one of his biggest successes. And, you know, the album, of course, is called Back in Black. It's hard to see here. It's kind of imposed here. It's like an embossed thing on here. Don't know if the later pressings had this, but apparently this one on Discogs, this is worth around $35, I think, median price, and it's in great condition. Of course, the title track, Back in Black, Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill, Giving the Dog a Bone. What Do You Do for Money, Honey? That's probably my second favorite track. My favorite track on this album is Have a Drink on Me. And you do just that, because it's a party weekend. Have a Drink on Me, MGK Boston, and it's AC/DC, Back in Black. Really can't go wrong with it. I mean, it's like a greatest hits album on its own. Every song on it, pretty much a hit. All right, and going back a few years prior to that, I believe this is summer of 77. And of course, this is yes, it is 77, of course, and it's the Sex Pistols. I've shown this before, but again, if you want 30 minutes of fun party, turn it up. 2.5-minute punk rock. It's terrific. And the writing's really awesome. John Lydon wrote most of these songs, of course, known as Johnny Rotten. And it's all good, you know, Liar, Pretty Vacant, EMI, Anarchy in the UK, Submission, of course, 17. I mean, again, it's just one of those it's like a greatest hits album, and it's so fun. I actually just finished a mini-series. If you have the Hulu channel, Hulu platform, whatever you want to call it, it's called Pistol. It's like, I want to say it was 8 parts, maybe 10. Took me a couple weeks to get through it because I was on vacation and I wasn't watching any television on the cruise, but just finished it a couple nights ago. Really worthwhile. Don't know the actor that plays Malcolm McLaren, but he was really amazing. They were all really good. Or the woman that played Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees. Just tells the whole story of the Sex Pistols. It's not a documentary, it's dramatized. But yeah, again, if you have the Hulu channel, it's called Pistol, and it's on there right now. It's fairly new. I think it was only released within the past 2 months. Again, it's called Pistol. And the girl from Game of Thrones, I think her name is Maisie Williams, played the younger sister, Arya Stark. She's in it, and I can't think of what her role was in it. But yeah, she's one of the actors in it that comes to mind. But again, Sex Pistols, never mind the Bullocks. That'll definitely get the party going. A little Latin flavor here. It's the Gypsy Kings. This is their debut. This is fun. Just you can have this in the background. You don't need to crank it up. Most people really like it. Bombaleo was a big single they had on this, and I just threw this in because it's it's not world music, but it's just Latin music. It's pleasant. Not mariachi band, but just really nice 12-string acoustic guitar in points on here, and it's well worth it. Nice summer music for sure. All right, rounding things out here. We're almost at the end, folks. You want to talk a party? Invite David Lee Roth over to your house. This is the debut of Van Halen. This was released in 1978. Yeah. And produced by Ted Templeman. He discovered them, I believe, playing at the Troubadour in LA. They'd been active for a few years already in Southern California. I think they were originally from Pasadena was the hometown. They all met in high school. And story goes, David Lee Roth's dad was a dentist and had some money, and he bought them their gear initially, I think, when he joined the band. Threw some money at him and got things going. So Roth, of course, brilliant showman. Not my favorite vocalist. Again, a tale of two bands, because once they, after the 1984 album, which was later on, much later after this, of course, in 1984, Roth left the band, and then Sammy Hagar came in, And, you know, it became a band of many ballads, as I like to call it, which is great because I like a power ballad. And, you know, Roth, better showman than Sammy Hagar, arguably, with just just the way he was on stage. I never saw either incarnation of the band live. Big regret of mine. It's too late for that now with the passing of Eddie Van Halen. But there's a lot of good live stuff. You've seen it all. It's out there on YouTube. And, yeah, when I say a band of many ballads later on with Hagar, I just couldn't see Roth singing a ballad like Love Walks In that was on you call it the debut of the second Van Halen, 5150, I think they came out in 1986. But again, both talented vocalists in their own right. They both brought something really unique to the table, and that's why Van Halen were a global success and still are to this day. It still sell records. So again, there's really just not a bad song on this. You know, they come out hot out of the gate with a cover of the Kinks, You Really Got Me. Jamie's Crying, it's just wicked good. Atomic Punk, Ice Cream Man, the satire in the end there, it's a funny song. And there's Dave doing one of his acrobatic moves that I'm no longer able to do in my mid-50s. Don't know if I was ever able to do that, come to think of it. But anyway, more power to him. So yeah, just on the Van Halen note, yeah, of course I have a CD copy of that same album. You really can't go wrong with these couple that came right after it. This is their second. It's simply called Van Halen 2. And this is Fair Warning. And I think I have, yeah, right here, Handily. My V section is right here. So these are basically the first 4 Van Halen albums. There's Women and Children First right there. Fair Warning. Of course, Mean Street on this. That's probably the #1 track for me on this one. So This Is Love is on this. Unchained is on this. From Women and Children First, of course, you have In the Cradle Will Rock, Everybody Wants Some, Tora Tora. I mean, you want to get the party going by the pool, put on this early Van Halen stuff. You just cannot go wrong. People that say they don't like it, they're lying. All right, into the V's still. A little surf rock. I'm all over the place today. This is fun too if you want to party by the pool, or if you happen to have a turntable on the beach, you put this on. It's the Ventures. It's great surf rock. And again, it's just a collection. It's Golden Grates by the Ventures. All instrumental music, dual guitars with these guys. You've probably, Telstar, you don't know it, but you have heard that somewhere, either in a commercial or just somewhere. Walk, Don't Run. And of course, they do a cool version of Tequila. Lonely Bull, that was, of course, Herb Alpert adopted that one later on, too. And of course, you got the Bikini Girl on the cover. What's to argue with that? And it's the Ventures. Not sure the release on this. This is probably 1966, 67, mid-60s release. And rounding things out today, folks, B-52s from Athens, Georgia. I believe they all met down there in university at the time in the late 70s. The band was formed around 78. This is their debut for the Warner label. And of course, it's just self-titled. There's the great Fred Schneider down in front. Excellent singer, excellent frontman, really, really wild, fun band live. Apparently never saw them. My friend Jen that watches my videos here, she's from Maryland. She's seen them a couple of times and told me how great it is. Of course, this is in high fidelity, as it says. And so some of the tracks on this, you know them. Excellent video, though, for that. I'd be remiss if I didn't point that out. Planet Claire, the opening track on this, is a really good video for that. Got them a lot of radio play in the early 80s, of course, on MTV. Dance This Mess Around, Rock Lobster, you know, Lava's good. I mean, it's all good. And, you know, when you open this up, like I should do here, yeah, the instructions are play loud. Yeah, that's probably, yeah, if I was the doctor of music and I was prescribing this as a prescription, I would advise you to play it loud as my patient. So that rounds out today's theme of party music. Again, I got a ton of it in my collection, but it was just some stuff I was listening to last night. Didn't list all of those, but you listen to one thing and it kind of will trigger a musical memory. And yeah, and so that's what it's all about for me. I associate a lot of good times with some good music, of course, and there's a little pile for you. So that's just a little 20-minute video for you. Maybe add those to your playlist. I don't know, if you're not a vinyl collector, you can get all those things on Spotify or wherever you find your music. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a great long weekend. Whatever you're celebrating, it's Canada Day, Independence Day, I don't care. Just have a great time and a safe time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.